Anything they want. That's right. You say to it, but ask your mother. This is with everyone. And so in the end, they finally discovered Dad always says yes. Go to Mum. When I went there, it was a joke for them because I don't look like a weightlifter, and all the rest are huge bodies and everything like that. And they turn around and before they go, all that thing that they're carrying on, all I do is just pick a part on the wall. That's exact. My eyes are not going to move from there because if your head is there, it's not going to go everywhere. And you turn around there and just dropping. It wasn't everything like that. And that's what it is in everything, even in business, even in life itself. You have to be confident. Now, I can do that. If you're not confident, you just can't. I started in weightlifting. I was, when you work in the food and you got a sample of food, I got up to 110 kilos. And the doctor said to me, you better start losing a bit of weight. Well, how can you lose it? So I said, why don't you go to a gym? So I went to this gym in Victoria. And I started, there was a coach there. We started training and training and training. He said to me, would you like to take on weightlifting? I said, what's this weightlifting? And he showed it to me and everything. He said, look, we got a team here and all that. So I started, he taught me how to lift weights and everything. And we started to move. And unbeknown to me, I didn't know anything about records or anything. All of a sudden, I broke an Australian record. All of a sudden, everyone wants to be my coach. No one wants to know you. So we started there and in Victoria, and then I qualified for the Australian Championship in Sydney. And I got second, so that was good. And then from there, the next year, it was in Adelaide, and I ended up winning on there. And then all of a sudden, I'm touching on world records. And the next minute, they said, oh, the Olympic Games there, but you need more of what you're doing to qualify for that. So I started training a little bit harder, and I broke a few Australian records, and I qualified to the Olympic in Tokyo. And I was only the second person to ever qualify for weightlifting in Australia. You have to be positive. You can do everything. And not in 5 minutes. You can be anything that you want to be. There's no one better than you. And it is beautiful. And you don't compete against anyone except yourself. I want to do something different. We'll do pizzas. There was only one pizza shop in Perth and one in Mandurah. That's all. So I said, I'll be the first in Bunbury. And we started pizzas and what's a pizza? Oh, pizza pie. They give me a pie. That's all they knew about it. Why don't you do something Australian, Oh, look, they're beautiful, the pizzas, but we got nothing. I said, I'll make something Australian. One of my staff, because they're all the United Nations, she's Polish, they invented these chili dolls, they're about 2 foot long, and everything like that. And so I said to my wife, what I'll do, I'll go and make rolls and make it as a doll. She said, what's wrong with you? You got your own pastry. So I created an Australian Aussie pizza dog. So that's Australian food, registered it. And you got all the elderly people, they're eating Australian food. Whatever you have in the pizza, you have it into a dog. You tell me what. And they're walking out out of the shop. We weren't selling that many pizzas, but we were selling 3,000 of these a week. And it just boomed on it, and no one else could do it because it's a registered trademark. That was our story here. It's still the greatest country in the world if you want to work. When we opened the building up, you have to be an Australian with a name like Brown and all this sort of thing. You can't be Haydar. Who's Haydar? So I couldn't get even the mayor to open up our building. So we used to have a newspaper here, John Kelly, and we become friends. He said, I'll fix them up. A friend of mine is the secretary to the Prime Minister of Australia, Malcolm Fraser. He said, I'll get him to open up your building. We blocked the streets. I invited all the heads of businesses because they're the people that keep us alive. And we invited the Prime Minister. But I sent messages to the mayor of Bunbury and the whole lot. No one replied.
You went straight to the top.
So we had it in the street, the opening. So all of a sudden, here he is when we sat down there, and I'm going to introduce the Prime Minister of Australia. He's racing up, and he said, dressed in his paraphernalia. And I said to him, he said, am I supposed to be doing? I said, I was going to represent you. Come on, and I'll introduce you to the Prime Minister. See what we did. Most important, believe in yourself.
Opening.
This is at the opening. See how I had it in the street? You could have at least 1,000 things that you've got to do tomorrow, and you don't know where to start with them. And half the night you're waking up saying, will I do this first? Will I do that first? Will I do this? Will I do that? And the longer you stay, the next morning, you're not going to open your eyes because you stayed up all night worrying about it. But if you just go dead to the world, you get up in the morning, right, this is important, that's got to be done now. This one there, that can be put on the side. If you worry all night, you can't do anything the next morning.